A lot of guitar players think that learning chord progressions involves memorizing a bunch of music theory. Different keys, different chord names, different shapes, and eventually, most people just get overwhelmed. But in this lesson, I'm gonna show you one ridiculously simple L-shaped trick that's gonna instantly map the 1, 4, and 5 chords in any key. So here's a problem a lot of players run into. Let's say they learn a progression like A, D, and E, right? 1, 4, and 5 in the key of A. But then if someone says, now do that same chord progression in G, everything falls apart. Because they learn chord names, but not the relationship. So today we're gonna fix that visually. You can start with any root note on the low E string, and let's just go ahead and use G. 3rd fret on low E. So when we take this root note and we turn it into a major bar chord, we have a G major chord, right? So that is our 1 chord in the key of G major. Now watch this. I'm gonna form this simple L shape that I like to call the 1, 4, 5 pattern finder. And what it is starting from that first note, right? That root note on the low E string. Then we're gonna go 1 string directly below on the same fret. That right there is the root note of our 4 chord. And then from there we go 2 frets up, 1, 2, to find the root note for our 5 chord. So it looks like this L shape. It's like an L that just like laid down for a nap. So that shape shows you the root notes. And once you turn those root notes into chords, like in this case for G major, we turn that G root note into a full chord, right? G major chord. And then we have the root note for the 4 chord directly below it on the same fret. That's our 4 chord, that's a C chord. And then for our 5 chord, which is a D chord, we take the same exact shape, right? And then we move it up 2 frets where that root note is right there. Form that chord, and then now we have a 1, 4, 5 chord in the key of G. It's the same relationship like in earlier when I did it in A, right? A, D, E, the 1 chord, 4 chord, and the 5 chord. And the beauty of it is you don't even have to know what I'm talking about using those numbers like the 1, the 4, and the 5, right? To understand this relationship, right? Or at least to find them, right? And that's really the most important thing is as long as you can find them and know this, that in most chord progressions, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord are the most commonly used. Thousands upon thousands of songs use them, right? So it covers a lot of ground, not only in songs that you would want to learn, like your favorite songs, but even in songs that you want to write, you know? So moving back to the key of G, we've got our 1, 4, and 5 chords thanks to that 1, 4, 5 pattern finder, that little L shape, that lying down for a nap L shape. Now let's see how we can apply that to even more keys. But before we get into that, if you're getting value out of this lesson, do me a favor, hit that like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Okay, so let's say we wanted to find a 1, 4, 5 in the key of C, right? So we find a C note on the low E string, which happens to be right here on the 8th fret, right? We use that pattern finder. We got the root note, the 4 root note, and the 5 root note. And we turn those into major chords, right? 1, 4, 5. It works there. Why don't we move it to a weird key? Why don't we do like B flat or something, right? Which would just be right here. B flat found on the low E string is on the 6th fret. Same deal, right? 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. We can literally move this like a conveyor belt anywhere on the fretboard to accommodate the key that we're going for. Now for a little twist. Here's what gets really cool. What if you want to build a minor chord progression? Well, simple. We can actually use the exact same L-shaped 1, 4, 5 pattern finder. All we have to do is position it. So let's just say now we're in the key of A, right? So we have our 1, 4, 5. So it's A major, right? But we want to find the minor chords in the key of A major. So the first thing we got to do is find the relative minor of A major, which is F sharp minor. So we're going to take our first finger right on this root note, and we're going to move it down 3 frets, 1, 2, 3. And now check this out. We have the root note for F sharp, and then right below it, 1 string, and then 2 frets up. We got another 1, 4, 5. So if we were to switch the tonal center, meaning we're not thinking in terms of A major, we're now thinking in F sharp minor. All within the same key. They're all relative to each other, right? So if we were to think of these as 1, 4, 5 in F sharp minor, we can think of this as our 1 minor, our 4 minor, and our 5 minor. And we just make those minor bar chords. But here's what's really cool. Now that we have those three minor chords, right? Which, by the way, are F sharp minor, B minor, and C sharp minor. These are minor chords in the key of A major, right? Remember, they're relative to each other. F sharp minor and A major, they're relative minor to each other. So that chord relationship works with the major chords. So check it out. A, D, and E, and F sharp minor, B minor, and C sharp minor all work in the same key. So if I were to just create a chord progression off the cuff using a random assortment of chords, right, that we found using this L shape, this pattern finder, you can actually create something that just sounds totally correct, right? And all in key. So I can do something like this. So everything that I just played sounded right. It worked together. Nothing sounded dissonant, nothing clashed. It sounded like an actual chord progression. It actually reminded me of a ton of like Motown-esque, you know, R&B songs. It just had that vibe, right? But which that's just kind of what I was feeling in the moment. But I was following the guidelines of all the chords that we had just found, which totals to 6, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in the key of A major alone, using this L-shaped pattern finder. That just immediately gave us chords that automatically work, that no matter what we're doing, what assortment we're playing those chords in, it's all gonna work within the key. Now, of course, you can use your own musical instincts to help you decide what order you want the chords to be. You don't have to play all 6 of them. You can play half of them or even 2 of them if you want, right? A good song is a good song. It doesn't have to be loaded with chords, right? But if you want to use multiple chords, you now have those options by using this trick. And by the way, this is why so many songs feel connected, because major and relative minor keys, they share the same map. That's why you can play them in whatever order you want, and they're still in key, so long as you're following that pattern finder. And then just decide what you think sounds good, right? And if something doesn't particularly sound good, or you don't really like how a certain chord sounds next to another chord, then just try something different, right? You have so many options between those 6 chords that you can create hundreds of songs. I'm serious. Now, just to bring it on home, let's do this one more time in another key, all right? Let's say the key of C, all right? So let's start with finding those major chords. First of all, C is right here on the 8th fret of the low E string. So we got our 1. Remember that L shape, right? To find the 4 right there and the 5. And we turn those into major bar chords. Now to find the minor chords, right, that will work in this whole relationship in the key of C. All right, we're going to start by taking that root note. We're going to go down 3 frets, 1, 2, 3. Follow that same L shape and turn those into minor chords. And then now we have those options when we're in the key of C. So I'm telling you, wherever you conveyor belt this to on your fretboard, you're going to find those root notes, use that L-shaped pattern finder, and then boom, you got your options for whatever kind of chord progression you want to create. And once this clicks for you, which by the way, if it hasn't yet, that's totally fine. Rewatch this lesson as many times as it takes until you really get it down and try it. Really grab your guitar, try it, get this under your fingers, and the fretboard is gonna really start feeling way less random. And we've talked about finding chord progressions in any key, but what if I told you that there's a simple system that can show you how to solo in any key confidently and comfortably and in both major and minor? That'd be pretty sweet, right? Well, today is your lucky day because I happen to have that system for you right here. This is a free guide on how to instantly solo in any key. You're gonna learn how to find every key on your fretboard in record time. Then you're gonna learn exactly what it takes to solo in those keys, both in major and minor, and without getting lost on the neck. Isn't that awesome? All you have to do is click here to claim your free copy, or if you're watching this on TV, scan that QR code, or check the link that I left for you in the description box. You see, great players don't memorize the neck any differently than you, but they just learn how to see the patterns that are hiding right inside it.